Hi all, Dan here and welcome to Oligo Models. So with so many issues of the Titanic that I've got here, we're going to do another 4 today. We're going to be doing issues 17, 18, 19 and 20 of Build the RMS Titanic. So looking through the magazines of what we're going to be doing, in issue 17 we're going to be starting on the second funnel, which will look like this by the end of it. Issue 18, it looks like we've got the dome that's going to be going over the first class stairwell. We've got another piece of the hull that's going to be going onto the side, so it should look like that by the end of it. Stage 19 looks like we've got quite a bit to do. Again, it looks like working on the second funnel, certainly adding some details onto it. Then we're going to be adding some details onto one of the deck pieces, which will then end up looking like this. And again in stage 20, quite a bit to do in this stage. Looks like we're getting the first piece of the electronics. We've got some photo etch parts to put in. We've got a lot more details going on to the decks. Looks like potentially connecting up one of the funnels. It looks like we're going to be finishing off this stage by actually fitting the first funnel onto the deck pieces. So having had a look through the magazines of what we're going to be doing in these 4 issues, without further ado, let's build this. So as we can see, as we got out here, we've got pieces of the second funnel that we're going to be starting on. So we've got the interior, the plating, we've got the water tank, we've got the spring, the filter, and we've got some screws. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is take the filter and the spring, quite simply place the spring, the long piece that's out, into the end of the filter. So this can now spring up and down. We're then bringing in this part of the funnel assembly, which is the tank. The long hole that we've got here, we're going to slot the filter in with the spring end, and as we can see, that now pops up and down like that. So with the filter and the tank out of the way, we've now got the interior of the funnel and the plating. This can only go on one way, as we've got this slot here and the slot there, and we're just going to slide this down like so. We now need to screw this into place with 6 DP screws. The easiest way I found of doing this last time was not to worry about trying to get it lined up on both sides, was align one side first of all, get the screws in, and then once that was held in place, then worry about doing the second half. So let's go on and do that. So with the first hole lined up and a screw on my screwdriver, I'm going to screw that one into place. So I'm using my I suppose micro screwdrivers. They are a lot smaller, which is exactly what you need for these screws because they are tiny. Next screw, we're going to locate the correct hole. And we've got the final one in, finally, like that. That was quite a lot more fiddly than I remember from doing that last time. But that is that stage complete. So on stage 18, we've got another hole piece, we've got the dome, the skylight, and we've got some more screws. It's 3 different size screws that we've got there. Let's do this stage. So bringing back in this part of the superstructure that we've worked on previously, the first piece that we need is the dome, which is going to quite simply fit inside there like so. That has kind of clipped down into place. There's no need to actually put any glue into that to hold it down. Next we need to bring in this skylight, which goes on like so. It doesn't want us to glue this in at this stage. It does suggest maybe using a little bit of masking tape to hold it down so we don't lose it. But yeah, we're not gluing that at this stage. So with that out of the way, we're bringing the hole back in that we've been working on and gradually building on. We're going to take this other side piece of the hole. We're going to slot it into the side. And there we go, that's slotted in like that. And we're now going to secure that into place along here with some IM screws. There we are, we've got these 3 screws in place holding that together. Next we need to take 2 screws that we've got left over from, I think it was stage 15. They're the hex screws, and with the 2 empty slots that we've got on the connector, I'll move that forward a bit, and we've got one up here and there's one down there. We're going to use our Allen key and the hex bolts to secure this together. And there we go, those are now screwed into place. The final thing we need to do is take an AM screw, and it's going to go onto this hole up here. Like that. So stage 19 does look quite involved here. We've got some other parts for the funnel. I think we're going to be completing that second one. Some various bits of detail that we're going to be adding to it. We've got the smoker, we've got some screws. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is take this part that was from stage 17. We need to take the smoker. We need to make sure that the wires are coming out of the top. We're going to slot this into place like this, and we've got a small little gap under there for the wires to come through so they won't get pinched when this smoker is attached. So the next piece that we need is this piece here, and quite simply this is going to go together, make sure those wires are correctly like so, and then we're going to use 2 EP screws that we've got in this stage to hold this all together. And there we've got it, looks like this. Next thing to do is bring back in this tank and the filter that we've worked on previously, and that is going to slot over the top like so. Next we're going to take the funnel cap and stay collar. Quite simply, this slots over the top that. We're then going to bring in the funnel that we've worked on before. We're going to take what we've just created there, and this is going to slot in side like that. Next, we take the smoker unit, or the filter, the smoke, I keep saying smoky, probably a smoke generator. We're then going to feed the wires down through this. It's what's probably be easier actually, is if I use my tweezers from the other side, just to take that wire, and then I can pull that through out of the end as I then push this down into place. Next, we take one of the grills, and quite simply this is going to fit over the top like that. So we won't glue the grill into place, as each time that we want to fill the tank, this does need to be removed, and it will make it impossible to do, so that's why not. So with the details out, and the first one we're going to take is this shorter steam escape pipe. We're going to turn this around, and this is going to slot into the 3 holes that we've got on there, like that. It's quite a snug fit, so I'm not worrying about any glue. So turning it around, we're now going to focus on these holes that we've got here, and this platform that we've got. So we need to get it round the correct way. Actually, I was wrong. It's not the holes we need to worry about, it's the slots that we need to be thinking about. And this, quite simply, is going to, should fit into that slot. So this should now simply fit into that slot. So we are going to need a bit of glue to hold that into place. I'm just going to roll a bit down here, make sure I get the edges, and then quite simply I'm just going to push that into place. Like that. We're now going to use this other steam escape pipe, and the holes that we've got on here, it's going to slot into each of those. So we'll try and get it in. And there we go. We've now got it in place like that. We've now got this tiny piece here, and that last steam escape valve we put on has actually got a few holes on the front of it, and this goes into the front. We are going to need to add a tiny bit of glue onto the end of these pegs. And there you go. As you can see there, we've now got the 2 pipes, one on top of each other. And lastly, we've got the ladders that's going to go over everything that we've made into the holes just behind. And after some persuasion, we've now got a ladder over the top like this. So we did get another set of these pipes and ladder along with the ones that we've put on, and what we're now going to do is we're going to bring back in the funnel that we made before, and we're going to add these on. There we go, we've got that first funnel that we made previously looking just like the other one. So bringing back in the first class gym and stairwell that we've worked on before, we're going to take one of the water pipes, and this is going to be fitted in to the two tiny holes that we've got just here. So like that, and you may be able to notice it does tilt or is angled towards the stern. This is correct, and it does not want us to glue it yet. So now bringing in this piece of deck, the officers' quarters we've got, we're now going to be putting more of these pipes into it. So the first one is this one here, which is going to go into these two holes just here. Again, no glue. That one into there. This one, if we just turn it round now, is going into these holes over here. Like so, and then the last one is going into these holes there, like that. And that is stage 19 complete. So stage 20, we've got some screws, some photo etch parts, we've got the first few LEDs we've got there, some extension wire, plastic band for something, I'm sure that will come obvious, and some vents and a tiny bit of decking. Okay, so bringing back one of the ventilator hoods from issue 16, wants us to cut some of the photo etch parts out. So let's cut this off. then wants us to attach a tiny little bit of super glue in the corners. And then with this photo etch part, simply we're going to slot it on top. Like so. Next we need to bring in what we've been working on before, and we need to fit this into place just in these holes here. So I'm going to see if we can do that without need for glue. It actually fits in quite well, so we don't need to worry about gluing that. Obviously that is still free. So now bring in, we've got this part back here. We've got a tiny bit of decking which is going to go onto the back just here. So like I always say when I'm attaching any of the decking, making sure that the holes are lined up with the holes on the decking. Like that. So now I want to bring the tester back in. It wants us to test out these lights. So there is on there we've got one of the slots, don't want the rubber band, which is labelled MOT/ET. We're going to push it in, and as you can see we've got all of these LEDs are all lit up. So we'll carefully take that out, put the tester to one side. Now we're going to be turning this over. On the underneath we can see we've got these two screw holes here, and then just inside, if I use my next, I don't want to throw that, screwdrivers here and here, you can see there's little slots which this board is going to sit behind. So we're going to straighten this wire out to make life a little bit easier. I'm going to slot this down and make sure that the board is sitting behind all of those. And there we go, nicely in place. So now it does want us to test it again, which we'll do. So again, simply into the slot. As you can see, we've got lights now coming up here and here. If we turn it over, we can see that the lights underneath are working as well. So with that moved onto one side, we're going to be bringing in on the vents from issue 14 that I believe will be going onto this. And we're going to be also bringing in vent from this stage. And we need to cut off some more photo etch parts. Just cutting that one off. We're going to drop a little bit of glue. Just along the edges. A bit more. Same on the other side. And then we're going to just drop this into place. Like so. We're now going to take, it's not my scalpel, so we'll photo etch part off, and this one is going to be going over here. So just double check that is the right one, fits right. Move that out of the way. Glue down there, and then just like last time, that is going to fit in just like that. So we'll now move this back over, and these two ventilator hoods are going to be fitted into place. So the first one we did, it's a smaller one, it's going to be going onto the back just here. Again, it's quite snug, so no need for any glue. And then the other one is going to be going at the back just here. I say at the back, I'm not quite sure which one's the back or the front. I think this is the back actually, so I was right. Again, nice and snug, so no glue needed. So with the hatches now in, we're now going to take this vent that we've got here, and this is going to go in at the back just here. And that is nice and snug, so I'm not worrying about any glue. Next, we've got this slot next to that, I believe that was an air intake, and we've got this antenna. So definitely tweezers for this. Just going all over the place. So it does kind of go off at an angle towards there. It is very loose in there, so I'm going to drop some glue in there. Like so. Next, we've got the two swan neck vents. We've got the holes here and here. Again, from before, these can only go one way, as they've got a bigger and a smaller lug. Put one in there, and one in there. That one there is quite loose, so a bit of glue is needed. We're now bringing out this ventilation duct that we've worked, we haven't worked on, that's been sitting with us since issue 15, and we've got the small hole here and then the hole there, and this is quite simply going to slot into both of those holes. So it's quite tight on the back, but it's loose on that small end, So drop a little bit of glue there just to hold that into place. You can see that now runs across like that. So we're now bringing in the funnel, the first funnel that we worked on. What it wants us to do, that master tape is brilliant, it's to grill off, and it wants us to take out that whole assembly from the inside. Right, that really didn't want to come out. So now that we do have it out, it wants us to take that plastic band, run it around the side, and just put it on there so it holds the wire in place like so. Next, once this connecting cable, which is quite long, what it wants us to do is take the larger, connector socket, supposed to be the female end, pass this up through the bottom of the funnel, like so. Now bringing back in what we've worked on here, the deck that's got the lifeboats on. We're then going to take the smaller end, being the male end. It does have K1 on the end of it, and then we're going to slot it down through the gap that we've got here. Now, gonna need. Oh no, it is going through. We'll just give it a little push from there. There we go, and it's through. I'll now push that through, like so. And we're now going to fit this through all the holes that we've got and the pipes that are in place, like so, making sure that we keep this end coming out the top. We'll fold it over just to make sure that doesn't go anywhere. Then with the AP screws that we've got in this stage, on the underneath, we're going to screw this on with these two slots there. So that's the first one in. And there we have it. We've got that first funnel. It's attached to the decking like that. Finally, there's an extra grill, I believe in issue 19. It's a better one than the one that we took off from here first of all. It just wants us to put that in place. Ooh. Over the top. Like so. And that is stage 20 complete. And that is pack 5, which is stages 17 to 20 all complete. As I've mentioned before, any of the tools that you see me using, they are all available over at oligomodels.com. Be it the tweezers, be it oil that I use, we've got some micro crystal clear over there. Any of those bits you need, head on over and you'll be able to find those on there. Also, if you're interested in plastic kits, we do have a range of Airfix kits that are currently available on our store. If you're into Airfix kits, head on over there, see what you can find. If you've never done an Airfix kit before, or you may be interested in buying one as a gift, head on over there and you'll be able to pick them up for yourselves. Anyway, enough of that. If you did like the video, do make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, then do subscribe and hit the notification bell, and then you'll be notified of any future videos. Until next time, take care, keep modelling.